Hello, good morning and welcome back to the fish locker out on the boat. Oh. Well, it's not one of those flat days that you dream about. I'm trialling out a new camera setup, so you might notice something different. What I'm hoping to do today is we have very small tides. I'm hoping to do a bit of fishing at anchor. Now right now we're just coming up to slack water, so I'm going to do a little bit of drifting on a wreck, and then if this calms down a little bit I might try and anchor a wreck. We'll see how we do. I'm toying with at the moment. There is a certain amount of etiquette with fishing. It's generally first come first served. If you're fishing on an area, if you're fishing on a wreck, if you're fishing on a mark and somebody else comes up, you get priority because you were there first. Same way that if you head out to a wreck and there's someone already finishing it, you go somewhere else. Now generally I don't let that type of thing bother me. Yeah, I let everyone let them do what they want to do. But we have the same boat, and this has done it to me 3 times now over the past. It's a red arbor and it's called Tessa Louise, and the guy behind the wheel is a complete 5 kilo Bruce anchor, just set up to run adrift over the wreck, and it's just steamed within, say, 30 yards around me in a complete circle, just all round the boat, steamed over the top of the wreck, scared the fish, and I was running exactly the same drift that I have. Just in case you're watching this, because I am going to go and speak to you in a moment, or anybody else who's watching this, that's not okay. Right, well, we've got our friends still kicking around. I had a couple of drifts over the wreck. I am going to hang about. I'm just going to stick the anchor down. Yeah, so what I've got is I have 5 kilo Bruce anchor. I have 20 feet of chain. It's important to have a certain length of chain, generally 1.5 times the length of the boat. And then on my anchor rope I have a buoy. This is an Alderney ring. This is used for when hauling the anchor. I'll show you that at the end. If anybody's really interested about how to anchor a wreck, I have a video and I'll tag it into the description here. We are in 235, 236, 234. We're in about 235 feet of water. So I'm going to be letting out about 500 feet of rope. Swing around, let's get the anchor down. I have the rope marked in lengths. Otherwise you'd never know how much rope you're letting out, would you? There's 150. There's 200. 250. And so on. Yeah, look, we've hit the bottom. That's it, on the bottom. Run out the rest of the rope, get her laid round. Hopefully we should be sat on the wreck. I am actually sat quite well on the wreck. Bearing in mind though, we've only got maybe about another hour and a half while the tide is in this direction. So all I've got is I've just got a set of mackerel feathers, and I've put a little bit of stinky old squid on there. And I'm going to drop down and I'm going to try and catch pouting, whiting, anything like that. Twofold really, because not only will it get me some bait to be able to catch the ling and the conger, all I came out here was a little packet of squid. Ideally I would have liked to have had some mackerel, but I couldn't find any today on the way out. Not only will it get me some bait, but also it'll let me know what the life of the wreck is like. If there aren't any small fish, there won't be any big fish, simply because the big fish will have nothing to eat. So yeah, we're after bait, and we're after just investigating to see what the wreck's like. It's been a while since I fished in water this deep. There's braid that's never seen sunlight down there. It's not too bad a day today. There's a little bit of slop. Hopefully when the tide turns we'll have wind and tide together. Rigs for fishing on wrecks just have to be simple and they have to be strong. So I'll be using either a simple running ledger rig with 200 to 300 pound mono, usually ending in like a 10 or a 12 or I'll be using a wrecking rig. Now I have videos on the Fish Locker Workshop channel showing how to make those rigs, so I won't spend too much time explaining them. I'll just get them rigged up and show you them in action. This is a bait trace. I'm trying to catch little pouting and whiting. I picked up something a little heavier. Yeah, this is 20-pound fluoro. Like a size 3/0 hook and a single squid, trying to catch pouting. It's either an absolute jumbo pouting or it's a ling or a conger or something. If it was a ling or a conger, really well to get it this far, just because I expected it would have bitten through the trace. Well, considering the hook and the hook length, that's a brilliant link. In fact, I don't usually get the gaff out. Look at that. I don't often get the gaff out, but I knew that was a miracle I managed to land that. Look. £20 fluoro trace. Tell you what, the gods were shining on me there. Especially considering, look, watch. There's the trace parted away. It rubbed it up with his teeth. Well, there's a nice ling. Yeah. And I got it on the light rod as well. So there are fish down there. Still can't catch any bait though, can I? I'll get that dispatched and bled. Ling, when you're fishing in this depth, I mean anything over 200 feet, they don't go back very well. They suffer really badly with barotrauma. And that's the, I don't know if you saw it when it come up, swim bladder in its mouth. It's a change in pressure, like when a diver gets the bends. Anyway, see if we can't get some more baits. Well, squid picked up that fish, so I'm going to try. This is the 3 little squid strapped together, and it's just a very, very simple 1 hook scratching rig. I've got a 10-ounce lead on there. This is a 12/0 with a little muppet on. So we'll see if we can't find something. Yeah, ideally, I would be using the squid to catch the bait. Ideally, I'll use the squid to catch the bait to catch the big fish. But if the big fish are, if they're being finicky today, then we'll try them on squid. We have got a bite straight away on the squid. Good fish. Oh, that feels like a good fish. That bait hasn't been down there more than 5 minutes. Oh wow. That is another very nice ling. Oh. Oh. Need my gloves on. Yeah. That is another very nice fish. I'll give that. That'll be £20. Now maybe just shy. But yeah, cracking. That bait, like I said, only been down there 5 minutes. Let's get it unhooked and get it dispatched. That hook does look to be quite deep. What you're sometimes better off doing is instead of going in the mouth, you go out the gill. Yep, that was all the rig was. Just not for you. Yeah, just a very simple one hook wrecking rig, and that is a 12-0 and a 10-ounce lead, and I just baited it with squid and just bound some squid on there. Nothing complicated, was it? Yeah, that bait had been down there like 5 minutes. I think potentially the reason why there's no little fish down there is because there was a couple of big fish waiting. Let's see if I can whip on another bait, see if I can't get another fish out. We are going to have to re-anchor soon though, because we are swinging right off the wreck. Might get another 10 minutes of it. The tide has changed and the wind's backed off slightly, so we have swung off the wreck. I am going to have to re-anchor. It's not uncommon to have to re-anchor 2 or 3 times when you're fishing like this, especially when there's wind across tide, because the slightest little variation can swing you right off. And when you're anchoring up in, well, I'm now in 240 feet of water, yeah, they're just the slightest angle off puts you off by a long way, because you've got that much rope out. Bearing in mind, I mean, I'm not going to say any more about it. Bearing in mind that I'm at anchor, you know I'm at anchor. Got my anchor buoy and my anchor rope out, and I'm sat on top of a wreck. Now they've already been around the bay and have come back. If anybody's unsure, that's bad etiquette. Not only is it dangerous seamanship because I'm of limited manoeuvrability because I'm at anchor, but also I'm already here. Yeah. What are you going to do here? Just the same as before, a wrap of squid. See if you can't do the business. Quite happily not catch any more ling because I've already got 2. Looking for some big congers now. Feels more like bait size. Oh, get back in the boat. A whiting! Perfect bait size for a conger. Yeah. Get that flappered off and sent back down for a conger. The difficulty is when you're fishing like this, is when the swell's coming up and down, you try and cushion it with the rod. Try and compensate for it so that the bait and the weight stays on the bottom, stays stationary. Because if it's a finicky fish, when you go over a swell, if the bait and the weight flies up in the water, you'll leave it. So you can see I've got the rod kind of balanced in my hand so that when the waves go over, see, because you can never be sure. You'll get a bite and it'll be like a tiny, tiny pecking bite and you think, oh, that's just a little tiny fish. Yeah, congers can be anything from like a proper great rag of the bait to like the tiniest little peck you've ever seen. These are just whiting playing with it. Tide's picked up to such a strength that I'm now on a 12-ounce lead and I'm probably back 40 feet behind the boat. When I started with a 6. Get them baited feathers down, see if I can't get a couple more whiting. If we don't pull anything out here in a full flood, might go and find an inshore wreck. Hopefully that's the last we'll see of him. I am going to have to re-anchor one more time. At this time of year we get something called May bloom. Even though we're in June, still called May bloom. What it is, it's a plankton growth. And I don't know if you can see all that crud there on the line. It just comes up like orangey gunk. You can see it in the water just like little cobwebs. And it knocks the fishing on the head a bit. Hopefully it should disappear quite soon. It's usually here for like a month or two, depending on the water temperatures. But yeah, it doesn't make things easy. But if it was easy, everyone would do it. As you can probably tell, yeah, swell's picked up a bit. That wind and tide running together has picked it up. Now, I did just lose one more fish in there, but tide's picking up that much from swinging round. I'm going to call it a day. I'm very happy with the 2 fish that I've got. There's no need to be greedy. And matey boy's coming back, so I thought I might clear out before he irritates me any further. Some days are just sent to test you, aren't they? Just like some people. Anyway, it's been a lovely day for what we could make of it. Small tides, swell, wind. Yeah, I think we did alright. Just kept it really simple. Just a simple 1 hook scratching rig with a 12-0, and I like muppets. I like muppets possibly because I am a bit of one. But this is why you need to use like 200 to 300 pound mono. You see where the ling's teeth chowed it up. Yeah. We didn't catch any bait. Caught one whiting and I didn't even catch on it. So yeah, it is good to bring a bit of bait with you. Usually what I'll do is I'll bring like a packet of squid and I'll use them to catch some pouting and whiting, and then use the pouting and whiting to catch the ling and the conger. Today they weren't about, so I just caught the ling on the squid. I'm going to haul this anchor up and I'm going to steam home. We've got a nice gentle steam home with the wind and the waves at the back of us. So I hope you've enjoyed joining us. All the very best. See you later.